How's it going, guys? It's the Pixelated Pumpkin, and welcome back to another Versus video. Today, I got a good one for all you guys. Today, we'll be comparing the Pumpkin Patch Prowler from Spirit Halloween 2018 and the Corn Stalker from Spirit Halloween 2016. Let's get right on into this. As always, we'll be comparing three things: animation, audio slash dialogue, and overall look, aesthetic, and scariness. Alright guys, without further ado, let's start off with animation with the Corn Stalker. Now, the Corn Stalker's animation isn't really anything that special. All he does is move from side to side with his arms sticking up in the air like he just doesn't care, which he probably doesn't since he doesn't really have a personality or anything because he's a robot animatronic, but nonetheless, his animation is pretty mediocre. I would expect it from a prop like this, but it does make him look very looming considering his height. I'm pretty sure he's 7 feet tall with his hand sticking up like that, and it is okay for what it is. So, let's see how Pumpkin Patch Prowler compares in animation. Now, let's take a look at the Pumpkin Patch Prowler's animation. So as you can see here, he has this twitching-like motion where he just rocks from side to side in somewhat of a circle fashion. I think this is pretty good for this prop, actually. Though it may not look that fast from the video, it does look pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, I do like his animation way better than the Corn Stalker's, so for animation, the point goes to the Pumpkin Patch Prowler. I just think his animation is a lot better for his prop, and it goes much faster in person. I don't know why in the video it was a lot slower, but I don't know. Maybe they had it on a slower mode. I think it comes with, you could set it to different modes, so that's a plus. But yeah, I think his animation is better, and I like the rocking motion and the circular shaking motion. I think it fits the prop pretty well. So now let's move on to audio for the Pumpkin Patch Prowler and the Corn Stalker. Now, the Pumpkin Patch Prowler's audio isn't really that much anything special, but I do like it. Basically what it is maniacal laughter with some crows chirping in the background and thunderstorm sound effects, which I do like, and his head lights up when these thunderstorm sound effects happen. Though he doesn't say any phrases or words, I feel like it goes better with this prop since he's a constant motion prop, and it would have really make sense if he did have phrases, but it's pretty mediocre, but it is okay for the prop, and I do like it. Let's see how the Corn Stalker compares in terms of audio and dialogue.
Blood will fall and feed the earth, and I shall feast upon your soul.
What you just listened to was the Corn Stalker's audio, and I like it a lot, actually. I think his phrases match the way I would think his voice is perfectly, and his phrases are pretty creepy, but a little bit typical for a pumpkin head, like plant, monster kind of prop. But I do like it a lot. He says a couple more phrases, I'm not sure how many, but I did take a listen to all of them at one point or another. But I do love his phrases, and they are better. It is better than the Pumpkin Patch Prowler's, just because he actually says words. So I'm going to give the point for audio slash dialogue to the Corn Stalker. So congratulations to the Corn Stalker. You got your first point in this head-to-head matchup. But it's not over yet. There's still one more round, and this will be the tiebreaker, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get right on into it for overall look and design. Starting us off with the overall look, we got the Corn Stalker. Corn Stalker's overall look is pretty decent, and I do like it a lot. The pumpkin head is pretty cool, and his body is also pretty cool. So, for the detail, there's some blood stains all over him. He has a rib cage, which doesn't really make much sense to me since he's supposed to be like a plant demon, not necessarily a human. And the bone necklace also doesn't really make much sense, but whatever. There's lots of cool blood stains, and it's very detailed, which is very nice, and his hands do look pretty cool, and the straw coming out of his feet are also very cool. But I don't know. It doesn't really seem like a plant monster to me that much. This really could go for a lot of different props, like a scarecrow or something like that, or I don't know, maybe like a serial killer prop. But overall, I do like his look and design a lot. It's very detailed, and that adds a lot to the prop. His pumpkin head is really cool, and I like how it lights up. And it just is overall a very good overall look and design. So let's see how the Pumpkin Patch Prowler compares now. So the Pumpkin Patch Prowler's overall look is pretty cool, and I do like it a lot. His hands and his head light up, and his head looks absolutely awesome. I love that spiky teeth grin and those glowing green eyes, and just the overall shape of his head in general. His hands also light up, and all the creepy cloth on him makes him look awesome. I like how his feet look like they were just uprooted out of the ground, and it looks awesome. I also love the texture on his shirt, basically making it look like this was an uprooted pumpkin, and basically he was torn out of the ground and he sprouted limbs, and that's what I just love so much about his overall look. He may not have as much detail in his main body, but what really makes it look good is the creepy cloth and the way the way it looks like he was uprooted. Also, his head just looks awesome, and I cannot get enough of looking at that awesome head. So the overall look point goes to the Pumpkin Patch Prowler. That's right. I like his overall look a little bit better. It lacks in some of the details that the Cornstalker had, but he doesn't have a rib cage, which would kind of be weird since it's an uprooted pumpkin, basically what I'm getting out of this. And I do like it better since it does have that uprooted pumpkin, torn out of the ground feel, and I like all the creepy cloth on him as well. So let's see who won, and let's wrap up this versus video. And the winner of the matchup between the Pumpkin Patch Prowler and the Cornstalker is, drumroll please, the Pumpkin Patch Prowler. That's right, guys. The Pumpkin Patch Prowler has won this matchup today. Remember, this is just my opinion. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. But right now, let's just give it up for the Pumpkin Patch Prowler and give him a round of applause, because he has won this versus video. There's just something about that pumpkin head, the animation, and just the uprooted feel by him that makes him feel so awesome, and just an amazing Spirit Halloween prop in general. So he beat the Cornstalker. Not saying that I don't like the Cornstalker. The Cornstalker is really cool too, but I do prefer the Pumpkin Patch Prowler over the Cornstalker. So as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and as always, this is the Pixelated Pumpkin signing out.